We're live. We're
Good
probably
stuff,
live.
man.
You're live. Yeah,
Um,
apparently, according to
Brilliant.
YouTube, we are live. So let's
Oh,
off of
good.
that screen and go to that screen. So hello, everyone,
Hello,
and
everybody.
welcome back to another episode of Staying Connected on a Wednesday.
That's the one.
Wednesday?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. We'll go Wednesday. Sounds about right.
I mean, we're just kind of losing track of the days by now, aren't we?
Yeah, of
It's
course.
like,
I mean, they're long gone now. I think
yeah.
as a quick transition into the media savvy
Mm-hmm.
update,
Sure.
I think with it being Easter, not that has any
Yeah.
relevance on the losing track of the days, but I think we've already lost them. So it is Good
I
Friday
know.
on Friday, so
It's
we won't be here. We're sticking
Yes,
to
that
that
is a good point. Mm-hmm.
and we also won't be here on Monday. So with that in
Yes.
mind, we have got
Good.
another
Good point.
episode of this Staying Connected on tomorrow.
Perfect. Cool. Seems
Same
like a
time,
good kind of.
4 to 5 tomorrow. I don't know what it's
Yeah.
going to be on because I don't think I'm doing it. So I've only
Sure.
prepped as far as today, and as you can see, my page of notes here. I'm so
Well,
so professional.
we'll be sure to keep you guys updated with the developments on that.
Yes.
And so that's as Haytham saying there. That means that
There'll be a
my
stream tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. In my exploring photo P session next Monday, that's not going to be on, obviously, with Easter then. So Fridays, just to reiterate that, Fridays, Staying Connected is going to be moved to tomorrow, and then also my exploring photo P will continue the week after.
Yeah.
It's always some of the people first just mentioned saying that you're quiet there, bud.
I'm quiet right now. That's the first time I've ever heard that in my life, I think. So
it's usually whoever is doing the Zoom call is always louder from what I've found from
okay.
doing these. So whoever's in the call instead of hosting it is always the one who's a bit louder.
Okay, I'll bump my mic up a bit. I'm a bit worried in terms of.
It's maybe better to put me down a little bit.
Yeah, I might drop your mic down a touch.
If that's cool.
And I've moved mine a little bit closer, and I do have it
I can move my mic away a little bit.
That so I'm probably going to be now screaming at everyone.
I'm going to put my mic. My mic's a little bit further away now, so just let me know, guys, if I'm coming through too.
Haytham, you're very quiet. Elizabeth says he can't get a word in edgeways. It's because he's not doing it with you, Andy. Yeah, I mean, let me know if that's any better. I think that's better. I don't think I made it through a single parents' evening when I was at school without being told Haytham is too loud. So I see this as a massive win.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've moved my mic slightly away as well, so hopefully that'll counteract it.
Cool. So little update for you there. We will be streaming, but it's slightly affected because we are gonna be doing the normal sort of Easter weekend routine. So not in on Friday or Monday. We will still be active in some way, shape, or form on social media. So if you do have any ideas about upcoming stuff, give us a shout.
Yeah.
The Facebook page will still be manned. Or woman, if that's a term.
There you go. I've never heard that before. Why not?
Let's just move as quickly as possible past that because we don't want to get into that debate. Anyway, so that's one of the media savvy updates. You might hear, I believe Captain Chaos is doing some renovation work in the other room, so if you do hear some bangs and a bit of drum and bass kicking right off and that.
He loves his drum and bass.
So there might be a little bit of that in the background, but not for very long. It'll be in fits and starts, I think. So we need to get him on at one point. I think we need to have an interview.
Oh, definitely.
With the captain.
Well, we obviously tried with the thing, but the mic wasn't connected.
Yeah, well, we want a question master session where he just asks everyone loads of questions and how's your day and what's your story and, and all that.
He'd be an amazing interviewer actually.
Yeah, a podcast host, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, cool. So I mean, as far as I know, that's all the media savvy updates. I'm sure Dan will come in and shout at us if it's not. So we'll see. If you see a bald head just appear in the sort of top right of the frame, it's because I forgot to say something, and he will keep us right.
How about for next week, mate? Is there anything being announced in terms of health and fitness sessions or anything like that, or are we not too sure about that at the moment? Or
at this moment in time, Daniel, I don't know. However, if you check Facebook and Twitter, in the coming days,
yeah,
there will be a schedule out of what is going on and when.
It's a good point.
I don't want to get something wrong, so that was
it's a good point. So as Haytham saying that's a really good point. Obviously, we're going to keep you updated constantly, and we are having another Staying Connected stream tomorrow at the same time. So if we know anything by then, we'll let you know also. But if anything hasn't been announced yet, then you can be sure that we're always going to post on our Facebook, and that is probably the thing that we're most active on. We do have Twitter as well, obviously, but and they are coming along the bottom of the screen now. You can see our Facebook and Twitter. But Facebook is the thing we're most active on, and we'll always be posting on there of anything that's upcoming. So,
and it's one of the best places if you want to send us a message, as well as we do have our emails, which I'll make sure in the description of the video as well. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. I suppose we best crack on. I can't think of anything else that we need to update you on.
No. I mean, look out for some. We might have some stream highlights coming up. That's something I can tell you guys about. So I'm cutting a video together of some of the highlights of some of the streams over the past week, and we're going to kind of do that. So if you did miss out on any streams, this will be a condensed about roughly 10 minutes, maybe just shy of that. Just basically clips of the streams over the past week, and you can kind of see what are the best bits or some of the funny moments of those streams. So just be sure to look out for that as well.
Yeah. So before I forget, because obviously it is one of the office snacks birthdays this week, so Lisa is probably listening along. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't checked. I don't know if she's here or not. But either way, we have a little video queued up that we've thrown together because obviously we couldn't wish her a happy birthday in person. So here we go. I've picked it up. We had to find it.
So we had to get creative.
We got creative, all right.
So yeah, guys, this is what we did for Lisa. Obviously, providing that we couldn't be there, obviously. So this is the thing that we came up with. So hopefully you enjoy it. I think we did pretty good effort, to be fair. Happy birthday to
Hip hip. Just one more thing. Just wanted to say.
Got him.
Oh, it's not over. Hey? It's not over.
I haven't actually seen this video yet either, so this is the first time I'm watching it as well.
Oh, Mum. It's my candles. Thank you very much. Oh, Mum. Always.
Because what else? What more would you want?
Oh, Mum. Oh, Mum.
So good.
Oh, I've got a little unicorn.
So yeah, this is our sort of social distance birthday celebration that we had.
Yep.
Now it'll stop your gob, like.
Don't know it.
So yeah, as James is rightly pointing out there, now will stop her gob.
Is there anything else in the bag?
Oh
No.
It's just me emptiness.
And this is why it's early.
Oh no.
Open it.
open it.
So funny.
There you go. What a cake! That's a cake that was designed by Mel as well. Designed and baked by Mel. So, and as you can see, Lisa, very appreciative of that.
What a thoughtful cake.
Thank you.
That's why.
Oh, there's more. Hang on.
Oh.
Hey, she's got a lot of presents, mind.
Lovely.
Yeah, she did.
Done all right.
Oh, bless her.
I just realised it's a vein.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops.
Oh man. That's me, look. Oh.
That's a reference to obviously because she always cutting up stuff around the office and that. Yeah, loves out like cutting things up.
Oh.
Nothing safe from being cut up in our place.
No, true that.
Shredded and straight in the bin. There she goes. Well, look at that, loving it. So yeah, we tried our best to do something virtual as soon as we couldn't give her our present.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you. That's lovely.
There you can.
All good.
And a nice. We couldn't get her any coffee, so she got a single coffee bean. So there you go. Cool. So, hang on. I'm on a screen capture now. I've done that wrong. Yeah, there we go. Back. Cool. So that's the Media Savvy update. So everyone be sure to wish Lisa a happy birthday.
Yeah. I was panicking editing that, man, because a bit of a time crunch, but it turned out all right. So, yeah, it's quite decent.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, we've got quite a bit of feel-good news this week, which is good.
Absolutely, mate. We
start
do.
with what you've sort of put together at the minute, because I've got that list open now.
So perfect.
So
Yes.
let me just quickly do a nice transition into Ella's lovely and wonderful drawn feel-good news screen.
Brilliant.
So the headline of your first one, I believe, was one of the ones that I'd also picked out because I've seen it. I can see it this morning on BBC News.
Yes, and are you going to talk about obviously Jack Dorsey, right?
Yeah. So
is that the one?
Yeah. So Jack Dorsey, for anyone who doesn't know, is he's the CEO, right? Yeah. CEO.
Yes. Yeah, he was the CEO of Twitter.
I always get a little bit confused because all these companies seem to have loads of different like CEO,
Definitely.
CFO, chief executive. It's just like there's all sorts of stupid.
He's basically he is the Mark Zuckerberg of Twitter. That's what I would equate him
Except
to.
he's not like I don't think he's a lizard. At this
point. Yeah, he's not like a robot as Mark Zuckerberg seems to be. But yeah, so he seems to be he is the CEO of Twitter.
Yeah.
And this news here is that he is going to be donating 1 billion of his equity in Square to COVID-19 effort relief, which is absolutely great news. And he posted in his tweet, which he
it's on the article, his tweet as well.
Yeah,
somewhere
where he spoke about this. He said that it was 28 or 29% of his wealth. Yeah. So I think that is quite considerable. I think if you kind of compare this with Jeff Bezos, which we mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, I know that Jeff Bezos makes around 8 million an hour.
Yeah.
He donated 100 million, which is still a great. Anyone who donates anything, that's great. But this is a really big gesture. If he's donating 1 billion, that is a lot of money. And I think from what I understand, this is going into developing some software. And I think a website which is kind of going to be able to help.
I think.
Track.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so it's going to be able to kind of track COVID cases and be able to kind of help with things for treatment and stuff like that. But he did mention that after the pandemic is over, that he will shift the focus of this app or this software, and he is going to be using it for health and education. So the purpose of it can shift. So it's going to have a life beyond.
So I was just about to say it's not. I thought, as far as I understand from what I've read, it's not just about this, and it's going to go a little bit beyond it. If this money proves to be enough, that'll be that'll go on. And I think he even said, actually, hang on, he said in his tweet what it was going to. So health, education. What the bit I thought that was really good about it was because obviously there was a little bit of criticism came out, saying he's done it through what is essentially like a shell company. Like an LLC, and you're saying, well, they're not normally very transparent in terms of where the money goes, and like billionaires are often criticised as like it's sometimes like a tax exemption, but apparently,
it's true.
Supposedly, what they've done with this one is they've got some kind of open public access Google document that is going to share and track what the money's been spent on.
That's amazing.
Which I thought was quite good. In fact, I want to put links on here.
Yeah, I as you said, there is
Yeah, so there you go. This is I've got it on screen now. There's a link in the BBC article to it that you can keep a track on where the money's gone.
Wow, I think that is absolutely amazing. And yeah, he says even UBI, which I think is universal basic income, right? So obviously, the Americans are going to need to, like, they're kind of doing this UBI scheme, I believe, where each American's going to get 1,200 per month, just while they're trying to get things back together. So I guess it's going to go towards that plan. That's I'm just taking that from the fact that he's mentioned UBI. So that's also quite interesting.
Yeah. So essentially, he's putting in $1 billion basically for a relief effort, which, you know, I mean, you mentioned it last week. People are getting criticised for not putting money in, so he's put a fair bit of money in, basically. On the BBC article as well, it does sort of talk about Mark Zuckerberg, who is putting 30 million, Jeff Bezos is putting 100 million, and apparently Apple's chief exec, Tim Cook, is going to donate some kind of medical supplies to Italy at this time as well.
That's a thing, and I think the uber rich and the wealthy, they kind of do become a kind of magnified under the public eye when there is a crisis like this, because obviously when they've amassed so much wealth and people are kind of looking towards them. And you know, we mentioned last week about the footballers, about how Messi was donating that part of his wages and so on. You can kind of maybe see a similar pattern with this. Obviously, Mark Zuckerberg donated, then you saw Jeff Bezos donated 100 million, and now you see Jack Dorsey donating $1 billion. So hopefully this does start some sort of a thread of these kind of philanthropy and these donations, because for them, I know that I want to believe that Jack Dorsey is doing this for completely humanitarian purposes, but at the same time, there's obviously, regardless, there's always going to be a level of PR there. So I think that kind of just in terms of their own PR, this donating, it might kind of inspire some of the other kind of billionaires to help with these kind of relief efforts. So
yeah, I mean, I think the thing to bear in mind with that is, they might be doing it even for PR or publicity, but at least someone's going to benefit from it. So
exactly, at the end of the day, that's a really good point, because it ultimately it doesn't matter if that's a big factor or a big part of it, because the most important thing is that the money is going to the people. And I think what you're saying, so I want to quickly mention, you spoke about how sometimes with these kind of philanthropy schemes that the money can kind of get caught up in like bureaucratic kind of stuff. It just reminded me of Mark Zuckerberg donated quite a bit of education to a uni, I think, a few unis. Maybe I don't want to paraphrase this too much, but maybe last year or the year before, and they found out that only 80%, out of I think 89% of that went to people really high up and kind of on the board and stuff, and only 10% of it went down to the students when they broke it down. Okay. So I think that what you were saying about them having this Google Doc thing where they can kind of track exactly where it's going, I think that's so good, because then it gives it that level of transparency, so you can know that this amount of money is being handled properly. So I think that's absolutely great, you know.
Yeah, I think when you're in that situation, sometimes you're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't, really, because if you don't put money in, people are going to be called for your head, and if you do put money in, people will be complaining that it's just a PR stunt. So I think you've got to take it,
definitely,
you know, for what it is, and he's given money that he didn't have to give, and it's a sizable amount. So
it is a very sizable amount, definitely.
For me anyway, he's done a good thing, hopefully.
I think it's great, and like I say, you know, the tracking and kind of having the his plan for the longevity of it as well, because it is quite a sizable amount of money. He, you know, is investing in something that can exist beyond the pandemic. So I think that's a great thing as well. So it's hopefully, you know, whatever this project is, not too much has been revealed about it so far, but as we know more about it, then hopefully we'll kind of be able to see that it's being able to help people beyond just the pandemic, which is fantastic as well.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Jack Dorsey donating $1 million.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. So next one on the list is the one you'd sent us about the. Now it's in Dutch, so I have to translate it 2 seconds.
Yeah, I had to put it on Google Translate.
Is it gonna let me do it? Yeah, so it's I cannot pronounce that. Where they're from. So Cornelia Russ from I don't even know what that is. Somewhere in Holland. 107-year-old and lives in one of the most affected, like it's a care complex, so it's sort of assisted living environment, and where there's been a big outbreak, and at the age of 107 has managed to overcome the virus, which is phenomenal in itself, really.
Yeah, exactly. We obviously the reason I brought this up as well because in the last week's one we mentioned the guy who the old Italian man who was 100 and he had lived through World War II, the Spanish flu, and coronavirus. So I thought this lady is even older than that guy, so it's great kind of have to show another person who is getting up there in the numbers and that they've also beat the coronavirus. So I think it's a bit of uplifting kind of news
definitely.
there.
I'm just trying to have a look. So, apparently she was very calm. Just sort of cracked on with it by the looks of it. Just got on with it. Went into hospital, got her treatment, and now she's obviously overcome it somehow at the age of 107, which is fair enough.
I know. I mean,
I'm assuming again this is a picture of her leaving hospital. I mean, she's looking pretty good for 107. Like,
definitely
in good health now. Thankfully.
She's up. She's on her feet. So I mean, what market? That's brilliant, right? I mean, good on her. So
so 107 heals from coronavirus. Again, I can put a link to this in, but the translation's not spot on 100%. But obviously the headline speaks for itself.
Exactly. 107-year-old.
Next one is
gives a bit of hope as well for some people. I think definitely. To be able to see that even people at that age can recover from it. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's something to be worried about. We should all obviously be, cautious. But at the same time, there's 107-year-old people who have recovered from it. So it's good to be positive. I think at least.
Yeah. I'm just loading the next link, which is about the. It was the one you'd sent us about the UK flattening the curve. So give me.
Yeah. This one is a good one as well. I think
give me the lowdown on this one, then Daniel. So
right. So I'm just gonna get this
because I haven't read this one yet.
No, it's totally fine. So obviously take it with a pinch of salt. We're not at that level yet. This is a forecast, but what we can see from this is that it looks like we are going to be flattening the curve. You can see that the numbers are starting to slow down. The deaths are less than what was predicted. That's the main thing.
Okay.
So they can see that with that being the case, with the growth that they planned in the beginning, we're not at that level. Then they're saying that is starting to show that it's the beginning of the flattening of the curve. And if you look at Italy and also it's Spain, you can see that you're having a bit of a similar situation there. It's starting to, the numbers of the deaths are starting to drop and come down. So hopefully...
So, as in, I've got the graph open now. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on it.
And then you can look at Italy and Spain there. You can kind of see that there's starting to be a bit of a decrease there.
Yeah, so obviously the curve is what we mean is the amount of, it's the deaths that are kept going up and up and up, but now that's starting to sort of level out, as in the death rate starting to stabilize a little bit, so it's not going up anymore. And exactly the hope is that through this sort of continued measures that it sort of starts to flatten out and then decrease. So Spain and Italy obviously being the two examples at the minute on that graph there that have gone up and up and up and up and up, but then have started to drop off. And as you can see, Spain there is now starting to decline, which is good.
Yes. And the official quote from the chief scientific advisor, Patrick Vallance, he said that there's not the big upswing of growth that was talked about in the beginning, and it's just a fairly steady increase in numbers. So it is possible that we're starting to see a change in terms of the curve flattening a bit, just meaning that the numbers are starting to go down and that hopefully it's going to become less and less, and it's a good sign. So
yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's a bit of good news. Hopefully, that'll mean that we're on the right path. Hopefully. So next up was 2 seconds because my Google Chrome is having a bit of a disaster there. So I just seen one today, and it's not even really a story particularly. It's more just the Google homepage. I don't know if you've seen it. But they've
I'm
changed,
not quite sure, man.
They've changed their little animation, so I'll just refresh the page so it plays again. So their little animation now, they do the sort of themed, like Google image above the search.
Yes.
So for today, if you hover over it, it's to all emergency service workers, thank you. And then it's like the little G of the Google sort of throwing a heart to 2 of the other letters that are dressed up. I think that's a fireman and a police officer. I think.
It's absolutely awesome.
Which is cool. It's nice. And I think when you click on it, it takes you to like a COVID-19 update. So you can get the latest accurate information on there as well, which I thought was really cool of Google.
That's awesome. Yeah, and
nice
I mean,
thank you, like nice little nod to the emergency services.
I think that's so cool, man. And yeah, obviously Google updates every day, right? There'll be a different one on kind of every day. They have been coronavirus related, obviously, as of lately.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. They've been trying the best to sort of give you the right information. And I've dropped my phone. Just not my phone. Right, cool. So, no worries. So that was the first one that I'd picked up on.
That's really cool, man.
The second one I'd found was it was an alternative to the likes of Netflix and Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime and all that sort of stuff. So I'll just open it before I tell you a little bit more about it. So the headline is Sky TV and Netflix could have some serious competition, and there's a free, if I can get around all the paywalls and stuff, it's a free movie and TV streaming service that's going to be launching soon. So it's called Roku, so that's ROKU, and it's a new channel in the UK, and there'll be a streaming option available. They have their own dongle, so like a little thing that you'll plug into the back of your TV. There'll also be if you've got a Now TV box or Sky Q, it'll be available on there. Let me just scroll down a little bit because there's a bit in that's quite important. So it's ad based. So at the moment, when you buy things like Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon Prime, obviously that's subscription based. So you pay a monthly fee and you get access to whatever films, TV, and whatever else is available on there. So this is going to be more of down the advert based model. So it'll have adverts on it. So ad supported viewing, they're calling it, which means that you'll have to view so many adverts to watch the content. But it is a sort of really good free alternative, because I think everyone's probably getting a little bit sick of, this is $6.99 and then that's $7.99, and by the time you add it all up, you're paying like £40 to £50 per month for all your different streaming services, which can be a lot of money, really, for a lot of people.
I think that's absolutely awesome. Yeah. So it's something that's available for people, and they're not going to have to worry or forget. I know a lot of people forget once they sign up for Netflix or something that it's coming out every month. So it's just something you can kind of have there, and you've got to watch the ads, but that's it. It's all yours after that. So
it's not. I don't know if it's out. Or it has launched in the UK, yeah. So at the moment you have to go directly to them or have a Now TV box or Sky Q.
Brilliant.
But I think I've got a link to their official website as well. If you do want any more information on that, or you want to look into it in any way.
Is that just Roku.com? ROKU.com.
Yeah, that'll take you there.
And then that's going to take you straight there.
And if you go to products, it looks like you might have to buy the product itself. But I think it might even work with smart TVs by the looks of it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it looks like it does. So that's a cool free alternative that might be worth checking out if you can get access to it. I imagine it'll get easier as time goes on as well. But again, I can put a link to that in the description if you guys want to check that out. It's definitely something to keep your eye on, because I think once there's one sort of free streaming service, there'll be a lot more start to come out there. And when I say free, it'll still be you'll have to watch adverts. So it'll be the same way like ITV works, where it's got adverts on, but they still bring out sort of shows and films and all that sort of
brilliant.
thing.
Absolutely
so
brilliant.
that was really cool. I take Alpha out, me.
Same, mate. I'm same as you, bud.
The next one I found isn't particularly one that we're going to talk about for a long time, but I just thought it was a cool video. So I was just browsing Twitter while I was
good.
eating me dinner, and I seen a video of an 85-year-old woman playing football in her back garden from a chair. So
Mate,
I thought you just.
She looks like she's absolutely smashing it as well.
Well, I was literally watching this and I was thinking, you know what? I don't think I could do half of this. I'll just play it.
I could definitely not do half of this.
I mean, she smashed it, like.
What a legend.
And that's top bins. That's top bins right there.
Definitely. That's awesome.
And look at that on the volley as well. Like, come on, man.
I couldn't do that, mate.
Aye, so,
yeah, I couldn't do that.
And then I think she does a little. Yeah, that's a celebration at the end. I don't know about the celebration, mind. Don't know about that one.
Well, that'd be a yellow card, wouldn't it? No,
Aye, so there's that. I thought it was really cool. Like I said, I haven't played football in that long now. I don't think I'd be able to do that. So
I know.
Fair play to her at the age of 85.
Yeah, I'm watching that and I'm wishing I had a net in my backyard.
Yeah,
it'd be so
fun
just to take shots at it.
It's not really practical, is it? And I know for a fact I'd end up putting a window out. Someone's window would get put out, or
that's the thing.
Someone's getting hit with a ball, like, for sure.
Definitely. I remember being a kid and playing football, and when you'd kick it and it would go into someone's back garden, and you'd be like, no, and you're gonna have to knock on the door and ask if you can get your ball back.
There's always that one person who was always like proper nasty about it as well. And like,
I know.
I would put a knife through the ball and just hide it back over Boston and say, cool. I guess we're not playing football anymore then.
You'd always be like scared as well as a kid. You'd be like, oh no. Yeah. And it's always like, we always as kids had the rule, like whoever kicked it over had to be the person who got it back.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. 100%. You got it, man. Them's the rules.
That's the one, like.
So yeah, hopefully I'm that good at football when I'm 85. That's the aim.
Yeah, same.
And
definitely
this one was Andy from Sunderland People First has sent us one, which was actually in the Echo. So this one's a local one. So we've got a 12-year-old hero who is creating coronavirus survival packs using these pocket money.
That's so cool.
Which is cool. So
what a legend.
Once I can close this prize draw window, I'll tell you a bit more about it. So yeah, Alfie Dixon is coming to the rescue for children and pensioners in coronavirus lockdown. And he is, like I say, only 12-year-old. So basically what he's done is he sort of took his pocket money and bought a bunch of supplies and then put them into like a little survival pack that he's just given out. So I think initially it says he'd done 40, so he'd put together 40 of these packs and given them out, and obviously they'd been such a hit that he's managed to go out and create up to 200. Oh no, sorry, he plans to make 200 from his pocket money, which is really cool. The bit that got us the most as well is that he'd even put in like he had the presence of mind to think of like gluten-free and dairy-free options as well, because I think they had little like sweets and stuff in them.
Oh my god, that's so awesome.
So he's got chocolate, cereal, colouring pages, and other little craft activities.
Wow, it says here as well that he runs a mental health support group to aid children dealing with stress. And he also runs a project called Alf's Happy Homework Academy in Easington.
Yeah. So I mean, he's already doing his bit by the sounds of it, but he's gone above and beyond. So good job, good job, man.
Alfie is definitely doing his bit.
Apparently, it's been shared on social media quite widely as well. Apparently, so they were saying it in this article. They're saying it's been shared as far as Senegal, Canada, Switzerland, Holland, France, and Sweden.
It's absolutely awesome.
And apparently, they had a bunch of people saying, you know, what can we donate and how can we help and stuff, like how money-wise. And he's basically said, no, it's all right. I don't want your money. I'd rather you sort of pay it forward, which was nice as well.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
So he's not even trying to take away from sort of other charities either. He's all forward-thinking and that. So fair play.
Yeah, that's awesome. Go on, Alfie.
Yeah, man. Yes, that's a really, really good story. And hopefully we'll see a lot more of that over the next couple of weeks. People sort of banding together and doing stuff voluntarily. I think it's really nice.
We mentioned before as well this the coronavirus has really brought out the best in some people. You know, it's been some really good acts of kindness. Definitely.
I think as well, just on that note, if you are looking to get involved with any kind of volunteering or anything like that, there's a massive need for it at the minute. So it might be worth checking out things like youdoit.orgs, and obviously the NHS website. I think at the minute the NHS one's suspended because of the amount of applications they've had. But at some point they will need another sort of drive for recruitment. So if you are interested, keep your eyes peeled. We might do a post about it possibly once we can pull something together.
Definitely.
There'll be plenty of opportunities out there basically. And there's also, I know some of the stuff you don't necessarily have to leave your house for. So there's got like, was it the Samaritans?
Yeah.
They had
so
like, they had
so,
a sort of opportunity to do like a phone-in sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yes. There was a Sunderland Gov one as well that we had in last week.
Yeah.
We mentioned that one last week, and that is for people who are wanting to maybe provide support by phone, so they can call up other people who may be experiencing some stress, and then you can talk to them on the phone. And I think Samaritans offers a similar thing as well. You can, both of those we looked at in the last the Samaritans one we looked at in the last Staying Connected session, and then the Sunderland Gov one in the session before that. So yeah, there's lots of good volunteering opportunities.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so, and again, on the flip side of that, if you are in need of any of those services as well, they are out there. It's quite a testing time, I would say, for a lot of people. Just know that there is little bits, there is a sort of organisations, big and small, out there that are able to help, and check in on your family and your friends and stuff as well, and make sure everyone's doing what we've called this Staying Connected. That's the whole point. We encourage you guys to keep in contact, with us and with everyone that you normally would as best you can.
Exactly. Yeah, that's our purpose. It's for this is to kind of keep people to stay in touch and just kind of promote some of the positivity that's came about from this. So
yeah, hopefully, definitely. And like I say, it doesn't necessarily have to be something going outside and doing all sorts of volunteer and stuff. It could be something as simple as giving someone a phone call or a text just to make sure they're all right. Like,
and just also kind of connecting our learners as well. Yeah, because a lot of our learners, as I used to come into our drop-ins and things, and it's just us being able to kind of interact with them still. So
yeah, so I've got one here, and you guys might have come across some similar stories. So if you guys have come across anything that's remotely similar, anything similar to what we're about to talk about, let me know. So again, this one was one that Lisa had mentioned it because she'd actually received this message on WhatsApp, but I looked into it a little bit more, and it was actually a hoax, but it's managed to get quite far and make actual national news at the minute. So
brilliant.
Yeah, so there was a WhatsApp, it was Dance of the Pope was the sort of name of a video that was apparently being forwarded around on WhatsApp. And it's supposed to trick you into sending a message like a sort of chain mail, like forwarding them. And that was the point of it. Why you would want to do that, I don't know. But basically, users were being sent a WhatsApp message about the Dance of the Pope. And hang on, because I've just refreshed the page by mistake. The message warns people of the possibility of a virus and tells them to send it around to spread the warning. The warning itself hasn't got a virus in it, but for some reason, people are trying to get you to forward that. Let me see
and
screenshot of it.
I remember, obviously, I looked at this just before, and it is one of the more like believable ones. Like you can look at it, and it's not that hard to see that it's fake news at first.
Yeah.
So I would definitely advise that everybody is cautious about if they receive anything like this on Facebook or WhatsApp, because this is not the first one of these right here. From there's also it's like a trend, right?
I think chainmail started where it was like you need to forward this message to 20 of your contacts, otherwise
Like,
well, I used bloody Mary's gonna come and get you or whatever. It started off as that, but now it's like kind of this is the new This is the new
Chain
version
law.
of it in the future now, where we just live. It's viruses, and you can get I think what they're saying about this one, particularly to stay on this one, is that it's harmless. In terms of the message itself won't do anything to your phone. What they're saying to be careful of, or what the experts who've looked into it are saying to be careful of, is that there's the possibility that you might get some other messages on the likes of WhatsApp asking you to do things like upgrade to sort of WhatsApp Gold, like which they're saying is a premium service or version of WhatsApp, which doesn't exist, but they're trying to get money out of you, basically. So any ones that are asking for money, be very, very, very skeptical of.
Yes. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, we've sort of shown you guys in the WhatsApp session, if anyone was here for that, how you can block a contact if they're sending you messages. And I think at the time, Fraser, who I think was in the chat, if I remember right, today, it sort of mentioned about how to report any concerns that you've got to the police as well, which I would definitely recommend doing, especially with things like this.
So make sure that, as everyone was saying there, that you do screenshot anything, or that you don't delete any of those kind of messages. If you do get something that you think is fake news, like what we just mentioned, make sure that you take a screenshot of it, or that you don't delete it, so you've still got that kind of log of it there.
Yeah, Daniel, are you on the chat now? Because I don't know if mine's updating. I think it might have gone.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Fraser just said he's here.
Okay, cool. If you can keep an eye on that for us, mate, because it's not refreshing on my end. That's all.
Yeah.
I think.
Can do.
Someone put something in about volunteering as well.
2 seconds. I just added pop-out chat there. Volunteering. Yes, Sunderland People First. Can you mention volunteers who've responded to Sunderland City Council's request for support, delivering shopping, medication, phoning, and walk-in pets?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So hang on. So I think.
Yeah. So.
2 seconds.
As mentioned in the chat there, the likes of Sunderland People First and Jodie Williams, I know they have been doing some volunteering. So I think that stuff like that is absolutely great, and that is a great service to everybody, I think. So
yeah, and there'll be a lot, like I said before, there'll be a massive sort of outcry for volunteers as well. So it is, if you are interested in that sort of thing, and you're following all the right guidelines, they'll be very specific in what you can and can't do, whether you should be staying in the house or not. But there is always the option to do things from home, and you can do things outside, and there'll be like I say, lots of opportunities coming up in the next couple of months. And now is one of the most important times, I would say, as well, for a lot of people.
Yeah, a big thanks to everybody from Sunderland People First, and just anyone who is volunteering to do stuff like that, because it's an incredible service, and a lot of people are benefiting a lot from that.
It all helps as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, slight tangent on that one. So
Jodie mentioned in the chat that she says my mum is still working through the virus at the post office. So our thoughts are with your mum, and we've got so much admiration to all the key workers who are working through this virus, because it's so tough. Definitely. And a lot of respect to those guys. Definitely.
So yeah, just to quickly recap on that WhatsApp one. So you might receive some messages that are talking about a video that has got a title of Dance of the Pope. Ignore it. You don't need to forward it. You don't do anything. Don't click on. If someone forwards you a message and you don't know who they are, don't click on it. And don't click on any videos or any links. If you're not sure who they are or why they're sending you pictures, messages, videos, links to something, don't engage with them whatsoever. And like I say, you have the ability to take a screenshot and report it to anyone you think you should report it to, which could be the police or a colleague or whoever you think you should be reporting it to. And I wouldn't necessarily delete them, because you want to keep them as a record. I think that's quite important.
It's really good advice here from me.
And I would just, and that it's not just WhatsApp, that one either. That can be, like Daniel was saying, Daniel rightly mentioned it happens quite a lot on Messenger as well. There's been a lot of sort of, I don't know if you've seen many of them, Daniel, but there's been some fake donation links have been sent out.
Right,
for the COVID-19 crisis. Sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, as you mentioned in here, from things like WhatsApp, any kind of social media service, so Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, they would never ask you for money. Okay. I mean, I know that on Facebook, sometimes if it's someone's birthday, they say like, oh, you can donate, but Facebook would never directly, same as WhatsApp, same as Twitter, ask you for money or for anything, to offer anything. So that is a telltale sign if there's any kind of, if there's something up. So
yeah. So you just want to be as careful as you possibly can. Try and keep it as when you're communicating, or when you're sending people messages and they're sending you messages, make sure you know them, and you're not clicking on anything that you don't think you should.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it. And like I said, it's good to sort of keep an eye out for different scams, and like we did. So Lisa got this message on WhatsApp, and she then put it in the group immediately, said, can someone have a look into this? This might be worth covering. So that sort of thing. Share it with your friends and family and people that you trust to help you through it as well. So that's the little WhatsApp one. We've already talked about Jack Dorsey and his $1 billion. Every picture I see is just really unflattering. Like
I know he's not looking the best.
The worst pictures of him.
I know. The picture that they used before, it looked like he was growing his beard out like me. So I was thinking, it's.
Oh, I bottled it. Mine's sort of trimmed down now. The hair's probably going to follow in the coming days. Like, I don't think my hair's going to see the weekend out. It's not looking likely.
Well, my two housemates, they're both saying that they're going to shave their heads tonight, but I'm going to refrain from that because I want to be different. So I'm going to keep growing the hair, keep growing the beard. That's the current mood.
I can get behind that. So this one, I'm not going to go into massive detail with this one because it's a little bit sort of technically heavy, but I thought I'd pick something that was completely unrelated to the coronavirus because I was a bit sick of looking at it, to be honest. Like, I'm sick of reading it, and
it is a lot. I totally
this
agree.
one is a new email service that's going to come out, and basically the top and bottom of it's called OnMail, and it's a new email service, and it's described as the first permission-based email service. So the idea that they've got behind it is, just because someone's got your email address through however they've got it, you didn't necessarily give them it, you didn't give it out to them, but they've still got it. You shouldn't always have to receive emails from them. So the premise of it is, and the main idea behind it is that when someone first sends you an email, it won't go straight into your inbox. It'll go into sort of a different place where you can go and either accept them as a contact and say, yes, I would like to receive emails from this person, or no, not really, actually, this email address, I don't want this to email me ever again. And you can sort of block them at the point that they email you. And that's the sort of main idea behind it.
That's so interesting, man.
So it's got more filters involved, if that makes sense. Than
definitely.
I mean, you know what it's like when you've got an email address, right? And you sign up for a bunch of stuff, and then that's it.
Definitely. I feel like this could be a big game changer for emails, right? It's
hopefully,
because I think that everybody can relate to that. Like those spam emails. Anytime you buy anything online, you're getting emailed for the rest of your life by that company, right?
Definitely.
So it's
I think beyond the rest of your life, I think they'll just keep emailing you for the rest of time and space. Yeah. I think till the universe ends, you'll be getting an email saying, "Have you seen this product? And what about that product?" Like, no thanks. So the other nice feature about it, which I thought was really good, is it's got like a search feature built into it that goes more off like the words you type in. So you don't have to type in the person's exact name or the exact name of a file that they've sent you. You could search for example, attachments from Julia is the example they've used last week, and it would sort of understand what you mean, and the search is a little bit more user friendly in terms of you can type in different words and it'll still understand what you mean, rather than having to search for an exact date or an exact time. You could search for a keyword like Catherine last week, and then it would bring up emails from Catherine from the last week. And
so it's intuitive in that sense. So I think that's
or so they claim,
awesome.
But I mean, it's definitely one to look out for. This might be something that you'll see come in to if you've got an email with Google, if you've got an email with Outlook. this might be something they look to bring in.
Yes.
To try and compete.
Yeah.
Basically.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, that's a sad thing
Yeah.
with a lot of these big kind of companies. They'll copy a model, right? So maybe Outlook might start to use some of those features, which is still pretty cool though.
Yeah, I mean, it drives innovation pretty much. It's good. You want that to happen, basically. You want companies to come out with new ideas that other companies are forced to come out with new ideas.
Definitely.
You don't want them to get sort of stuck in the ways and only do things one way because that's how we've always done them. There's quite another good little feature, and it's that they apparently they won't offer adverts or read receipts, so people won't be able to know when you've opened an email, and you shouldn't see any adverts, and that's at any level. So that's whether you pay them money to have a premium account or whether you just have a free account. That should be the feature that's built in regardless.
That's awesome.
So at the minute it's due to launch this summer, but you can sign up for early access,
like the beta kind of thing, like
and this is from a company as well, this Edison Mail. That's an app. So the company is Edison, and they've got an app called Edison Mail, which is one of the better email apps that's out there, and it's already sort of been a little bit more rigorously tested in terms of like privacy and security and the way it works. So I think the overall idea behind it is that these guys sort of know what they're doing, and hopefully are going to bring out like a secure email that you can use for free, basically. So
awesome.
Hopefully, anyway, that's the case.
Can't complain with that.
No, like I keep saying, out for now. That's what we'll take.
Definitely.
So yeah, I thought I'd do a little bit of tech news that was a little bit more upbeat. And also, if you're receiving a bunch of chain emails that are saying that the Pope's done a video that's going to hack your phone and stuff, then you can just block them straight away when you've got
exactly, and it
Mm.
ties in quite nicely.
Yeah.
So good point,
and
man.
all those stupid adverts that you get, like all the voucher emails that I seem to get like 17 times a day from that one time in like 2012 when I downloaded something from that website. And
one of the worst ones for me is getting like text from like Papa John's or Domino's. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to be on a diet now, and then I'll get like a text from Papa John's like, oh, new deal on this pizza, and I'm like,
it's like they know, isn't it? It's like they're sitting, they've got a camera and they're watching you eat like a salad, and they're like, right now, go now.
This is the time.
This is the moment.
Like,
SEAL team go. Right. Yeah. So this is another one to bear in mind, and I'll probably, if they bring out some updates, I'll probably cover it again. So on mail, we'll keep an eye on that one as something to look forward to, hopefully.
Perfect.
Same with all these, really. I might bring them back up. So like the streaming service, so Roku that I was talking about earlier, well, once it's launched and up and running, might have a little revisit of it and see if how it's working, if it's good, if it's bad. Equally, if there's anything you guys have seen technology-wise that you're A, unsure of, or B, want us to have a little look at on the stream, we can do, and we can sort of cover stuff over the course of a few weeks maybe. Quite happy to do that as well, but that you guys will just have to let us know on that one. So I think that might be all the news we have, and then I do have a list of my favourite segment of the show, which is Idiot of the Week.
Yes, the classic. I'm my favourite segment as well, mate. I would definitely be in agreement with you with that.
I'm just trying to find the links to them all. So I'm going to go from... I tell you what, we'll start with the Scottish... Was it this? What was she again? Sorry, Chief Medical Officer.
Yes, I know. It gets a bit confusing with some of the titles, doesn't it? Of all of the...
Again, there's a lot of
politics.
all the government officials seem to have a different title.
I know. They all have to have their own title.
Yeah, but that's fine.
It can definitely be a little bit confusing.
So yeah, this is where's it? Dr. Catherine Calderwood.
Yes.
She's since apologised, but basically what she'd been doing is she'd been formally warned by the police. For breaking the lockdown rules after she sort of... Well, she was the what made it so bad, or what makes it so bad, is that she fronted the TV and radio adverts, which were all telling the public to stay home. So she was the public face of, don't be engaging in any non-essential travel. You need to be social distancing, sort of lecturing the public on what they should and shouldn't do.
It's painful, isn't it?
And then I think, was it like 2 days later or something, the Scottish Sun published some photographs of her visiting her second home, which was miles away.
Being caught twice going to her second home, which was 40 miles away.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just it's not like it's next door. It was 40 miles away, and she'd been caught twice doing this.
Yeah.
So
and warned by the police as well.
Yeah.
So
and it's you said it perfectly yourself, mate. It's like, it's not just that she has broke the rules. It's the fact that she is the person who is the face of telling the Scottish people to stay inside. Yeah. Like, she's on TV saying, guys, stay inside, and then she's going 40 miles to her home, second home. So
yeah, I mean, she has since resigned, but I mean, the situation was all of her own doing.
Definitely,
it's one of their moments, just a facepalm moment. Like, you can't write it. Really, you couldn't make it up. So yeah, that's candidate number one, is the non-essential traveller there. I think candidate number two that I'd picked out was our old friend, if anyone's a boxing fan, Aamir Khan, had been on sharing his what's been dubbed by TalkSport as dangerous nonsense. But he was basically accusing the government of releasing coronavirus, saying it's man-made and it was to keep the population under control while the government builds its 5G towers. And he was saying he doesn't think it's coming from China and that it's a lie. And it's all to do with the 5G towers going up. It's man-made and it's been put there for a reason while they test 5G as a form of population control. Which, wouldn't be so bad if he didn't have such a massive following that would listen to him.
Definitely.
Thankfully, I think a lot of people on Twitter gave him a right old hammering in terms of, well, you probably shouldn't be saying that.
And it's what we were saying as well. Kind of similar to the scams that are going around. There's also like the misinformation. So it's people who are saying these kind of really outlandish conspiracy theories, or like crazy stories. And that's one. I mean, just think
like I say, it's people like that who've got the big influence on a lot of people.
Definitely,
some people's hero. I think maybe not so much now.
No, he will. Well, probably still some people.
To someone, he's probably still someone's hero. So, and if he's saying it, you might take it as fact. So it is a dangerous game, really. You might get people, not adhering to the lockdown or not participating in social distancing based on reading what he said, which is dangerous in itself.
Matthew Moon said, think he's been hit in the head too many times. So that's quite funny.
That was what we were saying. I think
me and Hefim said that as well, Matthew. So
Canelo might have mangled his brain up a little bit last time when he gave him a couple of...
Canelo definitely hit him quite hard.
Digs. Yeah.
But it's like, what I said to Hefim as well. It's like, you got to think 5G is in roughly 5 countries, right? And over 100 countries have got the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Quite simply, there you can see.
And people are dying every day, so maybe just keep your conspiracy theories to a minimum for now. I mean, you can have them, but just maybe don't post them on Twitter to millions of people. That might help. There's number 2, and number 3 will not go into the greatest amount of detail, but we'll have a quick look at the headline.
I think that's a good idea.
So Kyle Walker faces £240,000 worth of fines after you can read it there. He'd invited 2 escorts around to his flat, and the Sun reported it first, but since then, as a little update of that, Manchester City have then commented saying there's going to be an open investigation into his behaviour, because, again, it's similar to the Scottish chief medical officer. He had been fronted for some kind of, I think it was a video that he did, was it, on Twitter? He put out a video, where is it? I'll see on here. Or is it not on here?
Dude.
So he'd obviously, he put out a post a couple of hours before this happened to his 1.5 million Twitter followers that they must strictly observe the lockdown rules, and then within 2 hours, he'd broke their own lockdown rules. And
also, Kyle's got over 80 caps for England, and I heard they were saying that he may never be able to play for England again.
Yeah, well, apparently, supposedly, Gareth Southgate, the current England manager, is absolutely fuming.
You can imagine, you know.
And I mean, again, like it's the same with Aamir Khan. Like, you know, his opinion on stuff like that. He's not an expert, but a lot of people look up to these people and take what they're saying as they don't really engage in the news, maybe perhaps, but they follow celebrities and stuff. So when someone like that's saying it, you know, you might take it as fact.
Definitely.
So to do that and then go out and directly contrast what you've just said, literally, I don't even think it was 2 hours. I think it was like an hour and a half later. He's had this we'll call it a party, because again, you know, it's a family show. But he's managed to get his comeuppance, like you say. So I mean, a lot of people have been hitting back at him. So he's a hypocrite and putting people at risk, which he definitely is. You don't put out a really sort of self-righteous post about, you know, I'm observing this and you need to do this and we're all in this together, and then go and do something like that. It's the same with the Jack Grealish one last week, to be honest with you.
Exactly. And Gary's just said in the chat there as well, mate, Rooney got caught 2-1 by the police. They all seem to think rules don't apply to them. And that's the thing.
Well, it's the hypocrisy of it, isn't it? It's they're telling you to do one thing and then they're doing another. It's just crazy.
Famous UFC fighter John Jones, same thing to him.
Oh, God.
He was out as well. Breaking the social distancing rules. So there's been a couple of sportsmen who been.
To be honest with you, the longer this goes on, we might have to split idiot footballers of the week into their own category, to be honest, because I feel like it's at this rate it's more than one a week. Like, it just seems to be every time I log into Twitter and I check on Sky Sports News, someone else is getting a warning or a fine or an investigation. Like,
it's so crazy, man. And I think maybe the footballers one, but definitely idiot sportsman of the week, because this sport, there's so many, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just crazy, man. Like, I mean, to be fair, he's been fined 2 weeks' salary, which I suppose, you know, probably not a lot to him in the grand scheme of things, but I'd say at least it's being taken seriously. I imagine the FA will be doing an investigation into him as well, and obviously because he's involved with England and one of the prominent footballers for England, I imagine he's going to get the book thrown at him, probably.
Yeah,
but still an idiot, so he sort of deserves it. Don't know. And let us know what you think.
Gary said,
don't know.
Okay, bye, Summer. Thanks for joining us, Summer.
Also, quickly, just to wrap that point up. So they're the three. So you've got the Scottish Chief Medical Officer, who's been going to our second home, which I imagine is a very swanky place. We've got Aamir Khan, who has got his conspiracy theory about the virus being man-made and the government controlling you through the 5G network. And then we've got Kyle Walker and his party, after literally an hour and a half after preaching on Twitter about how we all need to be very strict with the lockdown rules. So that's the quick recap of those three. Idiots. And if I can, have you got a link to the poll somewhere? I've got it.
If you look in the description, it should be. I emailed you as well.
Yeah, if you want to post it in the chat now, Daniel, if you can.
Cool. Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to post the link for that. It's in the description as well, but I will post a link. It is just a little quick poll, and you can just press on the little tick box, and you can vote for who you think Idiot of the Week should be, guys. Yeah. So make sure to let us know.
And we'll probably announce it either tomorrow or next week. We'll see. See how we'll get on.
Exactly. Yeah, so we will announce that for next week. Yeah. Or maybe tomorrow, depending. Because obviously we'll see. Maybe give it a bit of time. But okay, so yeah, guys, if you just follow that link, and that will take you to the poll, and you can just select one of them, and then you press vote, and there you go, guys. You have voted who you think should be the Idiot of the Week.
Yeah, and don't be doing any of this. So if you've got a second home, don't be going to it.
Exactly.
Don't be posting your conspiracy theories to all your millions of followers, which obviously we don't have, so I think we'll be fine. Not that I've got any conspiracy theories anyway, but if you find an idiot or a potential candidate for Idiot of the Week, let us know. Again, usual channels, email, social media, and we'll have a look into it and we'll see if we think they're worthy of Idiot of the Week. Again, like I said, I think on Monday, if we make sure it's not someone like not just my neighbours hasn't put his bins out for a week and now he's we're not really interested in that. We want on a global scale. we want the idiocy, if possible.
Definitely. So public figures, guys, in a global scale, as Hifam said there.
And I can almost guarantee there's going to be a footballer in it next week because they just seem like they're immune to common sense for some reason. I don't know why.
They are magnets for trouble. So
yeah,
I totally agree.
So yeah, we'll see who the footballer is next week. I'll try and find a more positive football story because there is some positive ones as well. There's been a bunch of guys donating money and pay cuts and helping hospitals out and all sorts of stuff. So it's not all negative from football.
So yes, and if you caught last week's Staying Connected stream with me and Hifam, we did mention that, and obviously Messi is donating a large sum of money, and so is a lot of the players there as well. So that's also one of the good things that footballers have done.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I'm about done with that one. Then I haven't got.
I'm about done, mate. Just wanted to kind of say that I've posted the link for the survey in the chat there, guys. Yes. It is really important for us to get these surveys done, guys, just so we can measure how these streams are doing. If you have any feedback, just let us know, and we'll try to improve the streams. We always want to be better and make sure that we can be the best we can. So the link for the survey is there, just underneath the poll there. So if you could do that, please, guys, that'd be awesome.
And if you come across any uplifting stuff through the week, give us a shout. If it's stuff we can, it can be anything. Could be a story. Could be something you can get involved with. Could be an idea for a project that you've got. Could be an idea for a session that you've got that you'd like to see. The survey will be really good for that sort of thing. So there's an other comment. I think the box is labelled. If you let us know in there anything that you'd like to see or like to hear about, we can take that feedback and sort of maybe put something together.
Absolutely.
And like I say, we'll try and keep looking into different things like we've looked into. So you've got like the free streaming service and stuff like that, like alternatives for you guys to do if you're at home, or things to recommend to people if they're bored and that sort of thing. I know we're wanting to get some stuff to do on like phones and tablets as well in terms of artwork. We are working on that.
It's a good idea.
So we'll see what we can come up with, and let us know.
Yes. Wibbs message saying that he's off to do the survey. Thank you very much, Wibbs. Appreciate that, mate.
Cheers,
yes, we are back on tomorrow. I'm not sure if Hifam will be doing it because he's very busy at the moment, but we will be back on tomorrow. A little bit of a shorter stream from 4 onwards. So same time again tomorrow there, Wibbs, mate. And yeah, as Hifam was saying, I just wanted to quickly mention about being creative. That's obviously great. Yesterday, the day before, we discussed people using music. That was one of the ideas we had. I know Wibbs is musical. Anthony Shields, one of our learners, is musical, and we were talking about making maybe like a pass the parcel where each person does one instrument. So hopefully we're going to continue to do stuff like that as well. So anything creative, guys, any uplifting news or anything like that, just send it over to us.
Yeah, and if you do have anything like that, if you've already got stuff like that you've made as well, so it could be a track, could be a picture of, I don't know, you've knitted a jumper, or
we'll definitely
whatever it is, we can have a look and we can share it, and you guys can share it, and we've also got the hashtag, we are media savvy and that sort of stuff. If you're looking to share artwork in particular, stuff like that.
Exactly right.
So yeah, stay in touch, stay savvy, and stay safe.
Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers, guys. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate your feedback.
See you later. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Easter as well. If we don't see you, but I may see you tomorrow. Yeah, if we're not on.
Cool.
But, okay.
Right. Sound, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Bye.